Welcome to Hannah Gibbons' 2020-2021 virtual open house. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to join us. While this looks a bit different, a lot of the information will remain the same, but we will include some additional resources for you as well. So my contact information is located right here on this slide. This number to the school is 216-838-0750, or you can contact me via email at gregory.adkins@clevelandmetroschools.org. At Hannah Gibbons, we believe that all students can learn and succeed. Our commitment is to provide a safe and intellectual learning environment that will empower our scholars to become critical thinkers, problem solvers, and gain a better understanding of being an asset to their community. As a STEM school, students are expected to master the core literacy skills along with the STEM literacy skills of design, inquiry, invention, and teamwork through problem-based learning. Through effective partnerships with our teachers, our parents, and our community, Hannah Gibbons provides opportunities for academic and social and emotional learning to take place inside the classroom and at home, with a real emphasis at this time at home. Today we know is going to look a bit different. Here is our agenda. We will begin at 6 o'clock. Well, we are beginning now with our whole group presentation, where we have to go through a presentation, and then you will have the opportunity to go into individual class meetings, and we'll end by going to our final Say Yes presentation at 7:30. Our agenda and our meeting links is posted on our website under Restart, and they will also be sent or have been sent via email. I will also show you how to access the agenda as well. So each year, every CMSD school has to write an academic achievement plan. So we use our previous year's data to drive that work, and we complete a needs assessment to determine the school's greatest areas of need, and then we put evidence-based strategies in place to help close those gaps. So all of our schools right now, as a result of COVID, are focused on implementing the gradual release of responsibility framework, which includes direct explanations and modeling being provided to students whenever there's new concepts or skills or strategies being introduced. You'll find guided practice with small groups of students after the concepts have been introduced. You'll also find student collaboration prior to independent practice, and then finally that independent student work, which is really occurring right now during our asynchronous time as well. Again, our priorities are to implement the gradual release of responsibility framework to meet the needs of all of our students. So what many of you don't see is all of our students aren't all receiving the same work all of the time. In this remote environment, we have we've been able to better provide more specific work to each student through the effective use of our learning management system, which is also our next priority, Schoology, and in some instances, Seesaw. So we really want to effectively begin to use Seesaw and Schoology to deliver and manage instruction for all students. That will even continue when we return back to the school, because it does allow us to do a lot of new things as well. And we also want to continue to develop a meaningful partnership with parents and guardians, really focused on mutual supports to ensure student success. If you are not on our email chain, please reach out to me so that way you can get on there. We send out updates with resources and things of that nature often, weekly. It's also important at this time that you have the ability to monitor your students' academic progress. So interim progress reports will be mailed home sometime next week is when those are wrapping up. So if your student hasn't completed their work, please make sure that they're going into the learning management system and completing the necessary assignments as well. You can also monitor your scholars' progress in Schoology through the parent portal. So this is really for our students and our teachers who are using Schoology, so mostly in grades 4 and up. The teachers can provide you with the parent access code if they haven't done so already. So just contact your scholars teacher to get your 12-digit access code. We are also working on a mail merge to mail those out to you as well. But if you would like that sooner, please reach out to the teacher. One of the things that's different from our pandemic teaching when we were in emergency state in March, is that the guidelines for student attendance look a little bit different. So one of the most important ways that families and caregivers can really partner with us on strong student attendance during remote learning is to ensure that we have the most accurate, up-to-date contact information on file for you. Email addresses are the best because those are least or less likely to change during the school year. Making sure that we have your most up-to-date phone number and your address. So if you've moved, please make sure you're contacting Ms. Binford here at the school to update your address in our student management system as well. In terms of attendance, we're asking that parents still continue to call students off at the school's main phone line, so the 216-838-0750, when your child's going to be absent from remote learning for that day. Please make sure that you're communicating with the teachers when your child's unable to attend the live lesson, but will attend the recorded lesson, because that would impact their attendance and make them, they wouldn't be marked absent if we have evidence that they've gone in and watched the recording and listened and completed the assignments as well. Let the teacher or someone at the school know if you experience difficulties that are preventing your child from logging into school. We are doing our best on a daily basis to help navigate these technology or anything nuances that are getting in the way of students logging in. And again, the academic learning pods are another opportunity where many community organizations are offering a place for students to go during the day to assist them with learning during the day as well. We do ask that you can create a routine schedule during school hours to make it easier for your child to learn and study. Some of the things that's known to have a greater impact is make sure that they're maintaining a strict bedtime routine as well and getting adequate sleep. Also creating some type of morning routine where they're waking up and they're eating their breakfast before they're logging into the learning, just to create really a routine and allow them to focus in as well. We ask that you also explain to your children that both synchronous, that's the teacher-led live instruction, and the asynchronous, the student-led independent, both count towards the student's attendance. So if students aren't completing assignments, it's going to impact their grade and their attendance as well. We are very excited this year to be considered a Say Yes school. We know that Say Yes is a game changer for many of our high school students. Students who live in the city of Cleveland for all 4 years of high school and attend a CMSD high school are eligible for the gap closing scholarships, but it also has a great impact on our K-8 schools as well. So we know that support services are offered while at a CMSD school. And the Say Yes services that we will offer this year for us, we do have a full-time family support specialist, Ms. Price. Some of you may have spoken to her already, who will really connect families to support services and resources in our community. So when we say if you have a need, it doesn't have to be an academic need. It doesn't have to be a technology need. Any need that you think is hindering your child from getting to school or focusing or things of that nature, please lift that to us, and you can meet with Ms. Price confidentially, and she will do her best to connect you with resources in our community. She also oversees our mental health services with Belfair, ensuring that students are getting adequate services as well. So if that's an interest, always please lift that as well as free legal services and that post-secondary planning system that we talked about, with helping students plan for college and also earning a gap closing scholarship to any of the colleges that are accepting. Again, all of our Say Yes scholarships are administered by College Now of Greater Cleveland. So all students, again, who attend high school from 9th through 12th grade and reside in CMSD, keeping in mind that includes the Bratenahl, Lindale, Newburgh Heights, and parts of Brook Park and Garfield Heights that's assigned to the district. So any of those areas and student attends an eligible CMSD or a CMSD high school will have access to the scholarship. So any questions about Say Yes scholarships, including the scholarship portal, applications, and payments to schools can be directed directly to our Say Yes scholarship hotline, which is 216-454-5400, or directly to Say Yes Scholarship at collegenowgc.org. This is not new. The third grade reading guarantee is not new. This is a state mandate. This is not a Cleveland Metropolitan School District mandate or not a Hannah Gibbons mandate. So Ohio's third grade guarantee identifies students in grades K to 3 that are behind in reading. So the schools will then work to provide help and support to make sure that the students are moving toward on track for reading success by the end of the third grade. And the purpose of this really is to ensure that every struggling reader gets the support that they need to be able to learn and achieve. So although Ohio has made temporary changes to the criteria for passing grade 3, students who are not on track will still be required to receive interventions and track progress through the reading improvement and monitoring plans. So we encourage parents to talk about these strategies with your child's teacher. Teachers will be reaching out. We are still in the testing phase right now. You can find more information at the Ohio Department of Education website. You can also just do a simple Google search, Ohio Department of Education third grade reading guarantee. Or you could reach out directly to your child's teacher and they'd be happy to connect you with more information on the third grade reading guarantee. If you've had an 8th grader here at Hannah Gibbons before, then you probably have heard about True to You. True to You is an innovative year-long youth development and career exploration mentoring program that all of our 8th graders have the opportunity to participate in. So it's really a focus on helping our students transition from middle school to high school. We're looking at things like career exploration, career interest, helping students identify their strengths and helping them build upon those strengths to begin to research different careers in those fields. A strong emphasis on selecting the right high school for students. Our students don't oftentimes know about all of the options that CMSC offers in terms of high school as well. With us being virtual right now, True to You program and activities are under construction. So there will be more information to follow as we look at returning, but right now it's completely under construction. CMSD is very fortunate that we have a humanware department that focuses on social and emotional learning. And the 5 SEL competencies that you see listed here on this slide. So self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making. Here at Hannah Gibbons, Mrs. Kellum, really our planning center instructional aide, really leads this work. And some of you may have heard from her. Many of your children, all of the children have been uploaded to her course in Schoology, where she offers different resources to help students with social and emotional learning during this remote time. And she will also be working with teachers to deliver resources to students virtually on a consistent basis as well. So many of the programs and initiatives that we have here at the pre-K to 5 level, we have PATHs. And we have Second Step for grades 6 through 8. Both of those programs are social and emotional curriculum programs that we embed on a daily basis with our students. We also have our Now Anti-Bullying, where when we're typically on site, we do various anti-bullying programs each month. And then we also offer the WAVE conflict mediation. So we have student mediators who help students mediate when they have peer conflict, which we are still doing in a virtual setting as well. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have a need with that as well. We have the Planning Center as a result of that, student support team. So if a student is having any type of need, whether it be academic-based, behavioral-based, attendance-based, we have a student support team to help navigate those needs and try to develop some interventions to help the student become more successful or put in more supports. Our class meetings or our morning meetings should be occurring across every classroom each day. And we also have school-based mental health, as I mentioned before, through Belfair. Rapid response or crisis response. This is for students who are exhibiting a mental health crisis, and we will reach out to them for additional support if we think that it is outside of our scope of mental health services that we can provide immediately on site. And we also offer a conditions for learning survey where students are afforded the opportunity to provide insight to the programming here at school, as well as how safe they feel and things of that particular nature. As all CMSD schools, we offer a full continuum of special education services that are designed for students who have disabilities that impede or impact their academic performance. So while the district is remote right now, all services are being provided remotely and through teletherapy services. So the services in your child's IEP, if applicable, will be implemented through virtual or remote means. We will resume in-person services once it's safe to do so. Please continue to be on the lookout, and we'll continue to update you on that as well. You can always request an IEP meeting through your child's IEP team or through their case manager to discuss your child's remote services. IEP and ETR meetings are being held virtually or via the phone, much like in the spring. And if neither of those methods work for you, please speak to your child's intervention specialist. If you suspect your child may have a disability, please communicate that to your child's teacher or the principal, preferably in writing. And what that initiates is that student support team that I talked about on the previous slide. So the school psychologist and our student support team, led by Ms. Spooner, will convene a meeting with you within 30 days to discuss your concerns and respond. The main support line for our special education office is 216-838-7733. We also offer Project ACT. This is direct support, instructional and support services to children that are residing in temporary emergency shelters. They might be living in transitional housing, or they may be doubled up with a relative or a friend as a result of a loss of housing or economic hardship. This is a holistic and comprehensive approach that we use to deliver instruction and support services necessary to facilitate the homeless child's transition into school, and just to really ensure their success, as well as connecting them with additional services. So Ms. Dumperth is our Project ACT Life Skills coach here at the school, and she does work full-time here at the school. So support services include anything that would be necessary to address students' physical needs, social and emotional needs, and just empowering parents to support their children with all of those things as well. Across the district, we also have a multilingual, multicultural education department. They can be reached at 838-0140. This department is tasked with making sure that all of our English language learners are receiving appropriate services alongside their grade level instruction as well. This department not only ensures the education of all English language learners, but they also provide support within enrollment and language assessments to determine where a student is if their first language is not English. They also provide additional family and student support services in several languages. They provide translation and interpretation services if needed. And they also assist with home and school connections and facilitate communication and school options and choices. They will also assist and help families and students in crisis as well. We are a school that receives Title I ESSA federal funding, and we use that funding in our school to employ instructional aides, instructional coaches, additional teachers in our building to provide additional support to students. We've also used it to employ deploy technology for our students during this time, reading and math programs, and family engagement. So our school does receive just under $4,100 for family engagement programs and activities to support our school priorities. So in the past, if you've attended an in-person session, oftentimes we'll provide food, we will provide resources for you to support your child's learning at home. And those are the funds that we use, or that budget's the one that we use to fund those types of activities. We'll still be doing that in a remote setting, and we're working through that currently at this time. So what is the purpose of the funding? So Every Student Succeeds Act to inform parents of their rights and roles within their scholars school building as it relates to being included in decision-making opportunities and committees regarding school improvement plans. We have members of our school community on our positive behavior intervention support, on our AAP planning committee, which is our academic achievement planning, as well. So participating in school-based parent organizations is the purpose of that funding, providing input on how the funds are spent to support meaningful engagement activities, which are used to advance student achievement. Also ensuring that the school engages in two-way communication with parents to strengthen family and school partnerships, and removing barriers to participation. You'll notice that many of our activities occur at various times throughout the day. We do that as a targeted means to really provide everyone an opportunity to participate in their child's day as well. Parents have a right to know about the teaching qualification of their child's teacher in any school receiving Title I funds. So you could request that information directly from me. So you will receive notification. However, though, if your child is being taught for 4 or more weeks by a teacher who is not highly qualified, you will receive notification whether the teacher has met state qualification and licensing criteria for the grade levels and subject areas that they teach. You will receive notification if the teacher is teaching under an emergency or other provisional status through which state qualifications or licensing criteria have been waived. You will also receive notification whether the teacher is teaching in the field of discipline of certification of that particular teacher, or whether the child is provided services by paraprofessionals, and if so, what their qualifications are. So how can you support Title I programs? The best way as a parent is to participate in a school-based parent organization. You can ask to participate in the development of the academic achievement plan. That process typically begins in February, in February and March. Attend any school-sponsored Title I programs and activities that we host. And support your child's learning by creating a learning space for them to do schoolwork and exposing them to resources and enrichment opportunities in the community. Also by participating in family engagement activities and programs sponsored by the district, like our parent university workshops and offerings of that nature. So if you want any more additional information, our Office of Family and Community Engagement can be reached at 216-838-3223. CMSD also has a customer experience department. There's two options here. You can connect with the customer experience about how well did we serve you. So, we are committed to providing excellent customer service every day, every time. And there is a QR code right on there as well. If you have an issue that you feel cannot be handled at the school level after you've attempted to do so, and you feel though you have exhausted all efforts to resolve the issue at the building level, you can reach out to the ombudsman, and they can be reached at 216-838-0090. In closing, I just want to remind you that the agenda and the meeting links is posted on our website under Restart, and they've also been sent via email. I also want to remind you that we have school supply pickups. We've hosted 2 school supply pickups and have a handful of families that haven't had the opportunity to pick them up yet. If you would like to do so, please reach out to the school directly at 216-838-0750 to set that up through our secretary. Those school supplies include the basic supplies that students need to be successful. So paper, notebooks, pencils, art supplies, necessary music supplies for the classes, as well as earbuds that they could use with their device. We also have lunch pickup. Please take advantage of our lunch pickup. It's offered on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10:30 a.m. to 2:00 p.m. We're hosting it right outside of our back entrance on Claire Air. So the street right before Hannah Gibbons, if you're coming from East 185th, or the street right after Hannah Gibbons, if you're coming west of 179th and St. Clair. You would just turn right onto Claire Air, and right at our back entrance near our playground, you would knock on the door, and our school nutrition staff would be happy to assist between the hours of 10:30 and 2 o'clock. So before we close out, I also want to show you, if you want to access the remaining links, you can do a simple Google search for Hannah Gibbons, or you can type in clevelandmetroschools.org/Hannah Gibbons. And right on when you log in, there is an important message that talks about our virtual open house. You could click right here where it says click to access the open house schedule. There are also other resources there that contains information that you would need for remote learning. So if you haven't completed the family care plan, you can do so there. You can click here to learn how to log into Clever. Click here to access the students' daily schedules, which also should be on their teacher pages in Clever. You can request your child's Clever login information, and you can click here for back to school parent checklist, as well as click here for lunch. You can also go right to the stop to restart CMSD, and all the resources you would need for remote learning are here. How-to videos, the remote learning schedules, again, are also here. Our back to school virtual meeting recording was there, and our open house one will be there, but our virtual open house agenda is here. Once you click it, you can click here to access it, or you can click the virtual house agenda here, which will open the link directly. In here, everything is listed by grade level. You will spend from 625 to 725 logging in just by clicking your child's link to meet with their teacher during this time. Two important announcements is that art and music are at their other school sites on Monday or on Wednesdays. So they will not be in participation for this, but if you have a need to speak with them, Ms. Corrigan can be reached at margaret.corrigan@clevelandmetroschools.org or richard.scanes@clevelandmetroschools.org for music. You can also go right to About Our School to the staff directory, and you can locate any of our contact information here as well. So thank you for taking the time to join us today. I hope that you have a great time meeting with your child's teacher. And please be sure to also check out our Say Yes presentation at 7:30 p.m. I also want to remind you that if you haven't completed the 2020 census, that you have until September 20th. Please complete the U.S. Census, as that has a huge impact on the funding that cities and schools receive, which can have an impact on many of our programs as well. If you are not registered to vote and you need assistance with registering to vote, please reach out directly to me, and I would be happy, or Ms. Price or Dr. Simmons, and any of us would be happy to assist you with either the census or registering to vote, as both are crucial issues for us right now. Thank you so much, and enjoy